Okay, so hello everybody. I am here to give a brief presentation on the higher education interest section. And just to introduce myself, you can see on the screen what I do. I'm the Associate Dean for ESL at Salt Lake Community College. This Salt Lake Community College is located in Salt Lake City, Utah in the USA. And I am the HEIS chair, and I've had other roles at HEIS. In addition, I've been chair-elect, and I'm also community manager, and I've also been editor for the HEIS News for quite some time. And before that, I was book review editor, so I have quite a history with HEIS. So if you go into the TESOL website and you look at what higher education interest section is, you'll see there the statement of purpose, and it pretty much explains to you what our purpose is and what we try to focus on. This, if you look at the statement, it tells you that definitely we promote professional standards and practices. We try to influence and support policies of TESOL and other associations. We try to determine the needs in the field and initiate projects to meet such needs. And we consider all other matters relevant to ESL and higher education. So for 2020 to 2021, you can see the HEIS leaders. If you see there, you'll see our chair-elect is Diana Estrada, and then our past chair is Maria Ramirez Avila, and our editor, Zenji Wang. And like I said, I'm also serving as community manager. And then we have our members at large, T. Leo Schmidt and Tara Palmer, our secretary, Ashley Jennings, and our professional development coordinator is Kelly Tracy. So I also wanted to talk to you about the goals that we have for HEIS, and these goals are actually a continuation of our goals from last year. Our first goal is to increase member engagement, and we hope to do this through our newsletter, which is the HEIS News, also our discussion board on My TESOL, and also through professional development sessions. Our goal number 2 is to revise and review our bylaws and make updates where necessary. And then our goal number 3 is we're hoping to increase professional development sessions. We'd like to offer webinars on various topics. So also, if you go into TESOL's website, you'll see that there's information for HEIS News, and you'll get to see the different articles that have been published. And with the articles, you'll get information about our purpose for the HEIS News. And if you see here, it's very similar to the reason why HEIS exists. So the goal of HEIS News is to provide a forum for the exchange of views, research, and then also making sure that methods, materials, and practices related to ESL or EFL are included. And then our newsletter is also to make sure that we examine issues and work with ESOL professionals working in these various higher education settings. So our target audience, a lot of people ask me who our target audience is for HEIS News, and I can tell you that it's anyone who works at a university, at a community college, a junior college, any professional institutes, post-secondary organizations, and each of these arenas include ESOL professionals with expertise and experience dealing with diverse student bodies. The vision for HEIS News is we definitely focus on inclusiveness and diversity, and we strive on different areas. And as you can see here, some of the areas include those working in the United States and also working in other countries, coverage of issues in various areas, and then advocacy for and critical examination of issues, and then practical articles also about classroom program situations and other areas in higher education. So we're always accepting submissions for our newsletter, and we do try to publish twice a year at least. Sometimes we get quite a few articles that we're able to publish more than that. If you see here, it says that we are looking for articles that focus on any of those topics that are listed there, whether it be academic literacy, advocacy, administration, language assessment, any of those areas. In addition, we also accept book reviews for scholarly books and textbooks dealing with English teaching, and also dealing with teacher education as well and other areas. We have here some information to help anybody who's interested in doing book reviews. For anybody who's interested in doing a book review and is living within the United States and may be interested in doing a book review for a textbook that they don't have a copy of, we do help those writers with getting a copy from the publisher. But for anybody who's overseas, we would say that if you're using a book or you have read a book that you think is relevant, you can also do a book review on that. So if you're interested in submitting an article or a book review to HEIS News, all you have to do is contact me, or you can contact Zhenji Wang. And I have also put in here the link for the submission guidelines, and all of this you can find on the TESOL website.
Great.
Okay, and then I did want to tell you that we do have our HEIS discussion board on my TESOL, and there is another way where you can join HEIS and contribute to the HEIS discussions. You'll be able to network with professionals in the field and talk about topics that are current and relevant. And if you have questions, you can contact me. Something else that is in the works is Kelly Tracy, our professional development coordinator, is working on developing webinars that we are hoping to produce this year, so that it's all connected to HEIS News and also the HEIS discussion board. Okay, and if there's any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Great, Maria, thank you so much. I think if participants have questions, they can put them in the chat box and you can answer them there. I think John McVeigh has put a link for HEIS, and thank you, Joe, for being here. Joe is a TESOL Board of Directors member. I would also like to say, for the book reviews, maybe you can look into, for people overseas, maybe they can get a digital copy to do a review, which is free for publishers, and maybe they don't need to ship or that, or if they have the copy, of course.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, that's definitely an option.
Thank you so much, Maria. It was very, very informative and very productive intersection. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, let's move on to our next intersection, which is the program administration intersection. And Larry Schwartz, the program administration intersection co-chair, if you would like to. Sure. Hi. Welcome.
Okay, so let me share my screen here. So I'd like to thank everyone for their interest in our intersection. And as George mentioned, I am the co-chair. My colleague Tracy McGee, who is the other co-chair of our intersection, unfortunately could not make it today, but she sends her best regards to all of our fellow TESOL colleagues. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the purpose of our intersection, and as you can see, it is committed to the support and development of professional and ethical program administration. And we have a very wide scope as far as English language programs. So we are open to administrators that find themselves in any sort of context, whether it be in higher education or private education or in a public school system. It is a global intersection, and by program administration, we also refer to sort of every aspect of the program. So not necessarily a department chair, but people who might be a coordinator of curriculum, or a liaison, or an operations manager would also benefit from participation in our interest section. And our goal is to improve and professionalize the profession of TESOL, particularly administration, with by providing opportunities for professional development, understanding of administration in the TESOL context, and personal growth. Membership is open to all members of TESOL who designate program administration as their primary professional interest. You are entitled to be a voting member. If you designate program administration as a secondary professional interest, you are considered an associate member that is not a voting member. Just as a note again, membership, for example, you do not have to be in an administrative role to be a member of our interest section. When I was elected, I was just a faculty member, but my academic interest is in educational leadership in the TESOL context. However, in the middle, when moving from chair-elect to this year, co-chair, I did enter into an administrative role as a curriculum and instructional coordinator for our Institute of Language Education. And that is not the first administrative role that I've had, but now I get to say that I have a foot in both. So whether you are actually a practitioner or a scholar, or someone who is interested in entering into both sort of identities, our intersection is for you. So currently, our work, we publish a newsletter every spring and fall. We will be publishing our next issue in September, and we have a deadline for submissions in July 31st. We are also working on an online and remote program administration knowledge base that we hope to have accessible through the library section of our intersection site within the larger MyTESOL ecosystem. We are also developing webinars and other programming as a little to shill. We have a webinar tomorrow at 1 a.m. That is involved in how to innovate in programs when everything is changing. So if there's a conflict between this webinar and ours, just have two screens open, participate in both. And the final work that we're doing is we advocate and support scholarly research of educational leadership within the context of TESL, TEFL, TESOL, and sort of affiliated contexts. How we contribute to the strategic plan for TESOL International is in several ways. We contribute with the first outcome by providing a network for language program administrators and scholars all over the world to learn from one another and share best practices. We also strongly support the inclusion of language educators from diverse backgrounds into administrative and leadership roles within their programs and institutions. For the second outcome, as I said before, we are developing a database or knowledge base of expertise as far as administration in certain contexts, online and remote, but we also have previously a lot of material as far as program administration in traditional face-to-face context as well. We also support the continuing professional development of language program administrators. And for the third outcome, voice and advocacy, we support the further professionalization of our field through identification of what excellence in language program administration looks like. The leadership for this year, myself, Lee Schwartz, and my co-chair, Tracy Mee. Our co-chair-elects are Brad Teague and Pamela Smart-Smith. Our former chairs were Sherry Warren and Aaron O'Reilly. The editor of our newsletter is Amy Cook, and if you would like to submit to our upcoming issue, please contact her by July 31st through my TESOL. Our community manager is Catherine Pope, and our members at large for this year are David Ross and Lizu Human. This is the link for our newsletter. And thank you for your attention.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing all this knowledge that I didn't know, for example. Maybe you want to share the links on the chat for participants. And if you have any questions, please direct them there. As we're wrapping up the intersections, we have our last intersection presenting for today. We have other 15 the other 2 days, but for today, we have the material writers intersection. So Teresa and Michael, if you would like to start your presentation.
Okay, I'll try to share my screen. Let me share my screen here.
And actually, I'm here too.
Great.
Hi, Michael.
Oh, you made it. Thank
Yes.
you. Great.
Good.
So as you guys can see, I'm in Yosemite, so you guys can kind of see the background.
Okay, well, thank you for this opportunity to present a little bit about what we're doing at the Material Writers Interest section. And I'm glad Teresa could join us too, because I appreciate her support here. We're co-chairs. I'm at the University of Illinois, a lecturer there, and my involvement in writing material goes from anywhere from writing lesson plans to creating videos and even an online textbook for our program here. But we're part of basically a collaboration of material writing in various ways. Teresa, you want to say something about what you're doing?
Sure. So I'm in Southern California, and I'm currently the department chair for our ESL Adult Ed program here on campus. And I have 4 published books and 4 published books, and then some other curriculum as well. I've been writing curriculum for us. So I actually wrote the curriculum for our program, our certificate program here at the college campus. But I just want to say for us as teachers, or even if we're not, I think we're all content creators. And I think that's what's so special about this intersection is for all the content creators out there, whatever it may be, whether for a YouTube channel, for your lesson plans, for publishing, whatever it is, we're constantly creating material because we feel there's a need and we want to fulfill that need. And I think that's kind of the main purpose of this group. Yeah.
At our opening slide, we have this picture of someone who's either very happy that she's created something or she's very frustrated in the process. But hopefully material writing has different aspects for you. And if you enjoy writing materials and all that, we're here to support you. If you're finding writing materials is something that is challenging and you want to learn more about it, we're also a support group that way. I'm trying to move forward here, and it's There we are. Okay. So, as Teresa mentioned, we're a community of practice that is really focused at the development of EFL and ESL materials in any format. And we want to provide that network through TESOL. We can help to answer questions about material development, about research, and about publication. There's a number of opportunities to publish materials, and we're in the business of encouraging that, as well as working with publishers, getting to know those. And then also, because it is part of TESOL, we are a group of TESOL members. So you need to be a TESOL member to join us, but it's easy to do. We want to encourage you to register, but it can be whether you're a teacher, you might be an author, you might have dreams of creating a textbook or some other materials like that. You might be a researcher or an editor. It may even go to digital or other types of publishing. But as Teresa also said, that we're all, as educators, we're all involved to some extent in material writing. And, you know, even as COVID happened and we were forced to think about adapting materials, that's a big area, and moving online with different things. Perhaps you're in a position where you have to evaluate materials for curriculum development or program design, how to supplement your classes, whatever you might be involved in. Our section, Material Writers Interest section, is something that definitely you can be part of, and we'd really want to encourage your involvement in to network with us. So basically we're here, we're glad we have this opportunity to present this, just to encourage you to get involved as you like. We also have, like Maria and Lee were mentioning, each interest section has a newsletter that they publish. And so if you're interested in writing an article or a book review for us, that's something that you can certainly do. Our contact information is here. So Teresa has her connection there, and myself. Our incoming chair is Margaret Morris, who's also going to help us in getting some webinars moving this year. Carol Williams is our newsletter editor, and Lisa Horvath is our past chair, and she's acting as assistant for our newsletter and editing there. So that's their contact information. What is missing here is a community manager. We're currently looking for someone who might be interested in keeping everyone informed through Facebook and social media and various avenues like that. If you're interested in participating in that way, or that's something you're gifted in, we could certainly use you for keeping everyone informed. But we do have a Facebook page. I think it's there at the bottom of the slide. I can't really see because I've got the Zoom blocking the bottom half of my screen, but I think it's listed there. Facebook is another way to connect with us. Teresa, is there something else that I should be mentioning here? You can see on the right side of the screen here, these are different, some of these, Teresa, Patrice, Walton Burns,
Lisa.
yeah, and Lisa Horvath have contributed a lot of publications here. You can see some of the things that they've done in terms of material development. And
Great.
I guess
All
that
right,
would
well,
be all. Thank you,
yeah.
Georges, for allowing us to present this.
Thanks, Michael. And thanks, Teresa, for making it from outside. It was quite an adventure, but you made it. Thank you so much. I think it was great to hear from all of the intersections today. As I said, we have scheduled intersections tomorrow and the day after. So the majority of intersections will be presenting. So I think there's lots of opportunity in participating, writing on their newsletters, becoming part of the leadership, and so on and so forth. I think it's a great exposure that you can see all of them here. As I mentioned earlier, these recordings will all be put on the playlist of the ANPC on the TESOL YouTube channel. So you can see if you've missed any of the sessions, you can see them there. And then the presentations, as many as are shared with us, we will share them through my TESOL, both the leaders and the affiliate network group. All right, so we will take 1 minute and to start recording the next session, and then we will have our last session for today with Agnes Mariakaki that I see is already here. So we will start at 9:05 my time in 2 minutes. You can stretch if you've been here for a long time.